can you turn your camera the other way for me?
Yeah. Wait.
There we go. Oh my God.
Okay.
My name is Jessey. So I was not
Jessey?
here for the last interview. I do apologize about everything.
That's okay.
Thank you so much for taking this with us. Oh my God, yes, it's all over. It is. But yeah, thank you again. I'm excited to sit down and talk to you and kind of meet you for the first time. I guess you're getting to meet the whole team.
It's like take two, but no.
Yeah, you're getting the whole team now.
Yeah, exactly.
No, but so honestly, the first thing that I wanted to ask you is I saw that you were a special ed teacher before. You popped off and became I am more interested, I guess, in that because I have a lot of family members that one of my sisters is a nurse, and then one of my other sisters is actually trying to become a teacher for hearing. So she's actually going to school for that. She just got into she's getting into grad school soon. So.
Oh my gosh! Congrats to her. That's so awesome. And for your sister, you said that's a nurse?
Yeah, that's my youngest sister, or my younger sister, and then my youngest sister is going to be a hearing aid specialist.
Yeah, honestly, it's like those types of jobs. It's like I want to tell all of them thank you for your service because they do so much for society and for our world and for our future and all of the above. But yes, I was a special ed teacher. I got my master's in special education from Rutgers, and I became a teacher. And I loved teaching, and I still do love it and education.
Yeah.
And I went into it because I wanted a job that, music was always like a dream and something I really wanted to pursue, of course. And it was a goal, but I was also like, I don't know how I'm going to do that. I just live in New Jersey and like also have my Greek immigrant father being like, you have to have a job with a paycheck every month, like go follow the path, get on the right path and do that. And music is a hobby and just leave it at that. So I wanted something where I could be creative every day, where I could interact with people and feel like I was helping people and also have fun. Because there is a way to make teaching fun and interacting. And I love finding new creative ways of, teaching a concept. And also when you have those milestone moments or when that like idea clicks in a student, there's really nothing like it. It like makes everything so worth it. So I did absolutely love it. But in my district, they had budget cuts and I was one of the younger teachers. I wasn't tenured yet. So I was one of like 30 teachers that actually got cut.
Oh my God.
And for me at that point in my life, I had started taking music seriously after school and really like living a double life where during the day I was, this teacher and I was doing my thing. And then I would immediately leave school, go into New York City and be writing songs and meeting people and doing shows and, exploring and doing all of the above, everything that I could. Because I realized that like life was too short for me not to do what I loved. And there was nothing else that I wanted to do with my time when I wasn't working. It was like, I want to do music. And so when I lost my job and I was laid off, I was like, whoa, the universe is like giving me an opportunity to not have to choose to quit my safety net, and is kind of giving me this opportunity of like, hey, you can make a decision now. And so I realized that I wanted to go for music and give it 100%. And I went in with blind faith because honestly, I didn't know how things would work out, or I wasn't even fully at that point. I hadn't created this new sound that is why we're here today having this interview of incorporating my Greek roots and everything. I was just kind of like, I'm going to figure this out and see what happens.
Something's going to happen. Like, I mean, that's what it is. You gotta follow the flow, as my boss would say. And I mean, follow the man above. Like that's,
what was cool is like my students too were really excited for me because they knew that I would sing, I would bring in the guitar, we would be writing, hey, how's it going?
Evangelia, how are you doing? You meet Jessey now.
Good, how are you?
I'm good. How are you doing?
I get to meet everybody this
Yeah.
whole
You're gonna meet the whole team. Real quick. Have you talked about her latest single, Páme Páme?
We haven't gotten there
You
yet.
remember what it made me do, right? Can we do that real quick? I'm gonna put it on. I'm reminding
You gotta do the dance. Let's
I'm
go.
so- Hey, yes! Yes! Let's get it. Where you at, Jessey? You can't just sit there. Páme Páme.
Woo! You guys got moved.
There we go, Jessey. Make sure that.
I get loose.
Yeah! You gotta let it go. You gotta let it go.
Woo!
Hey, one more. We gotta do that too.
Páme Páme.
Good to see you again, Evangelia. Make sure you talk about this song. It's awesome.
Well,
man.
yeah, that was my next question.
I have to move every time I hear it. And Fodia, amazing song. Great to see you. I hope everything's on
Thanks.
delay. Thank you
Good
again.
to see you too.
Right.
Thank you, man.
So there's the energy
Where was I at?
that we needed.
That's the energy. I love that. That just really got me for the day.
Perfect.
But yeah, my students were excited for me, and I was happy I could show an example of like following your dreams for them, you know, and I'll always be involved in education in some way, giving back, you know.
I love it because I'm a lacrosse coach, and for my 7th to 8th grade boys, whenever I see them, this weekend was actually a perfect example. I saw one of my kids get his first goal ever in a game, and
Wow.
yeah, it was one of those moments that I was high stepping down the sideline for him, man. It's just great seeing that amazement, and I love having that energy for the kids. I love seeing them succeed and stuff. So I definitely wanted to ask you that first. That was my first. I guess.
Yeah, I mean, it's definitely a unique story in a sense. Like for people who meet me now, and I tell them like, yeah, I was actually a full-time teacher. They're like, what? I was like, yes, I was. Indeed.
That's awesome, though. That's awesome. No, because it shows that like you got to grind a little bit before you get there, right? Like not every diamond is straight out as a diamond.
No, exactly. And then you just keep grinding.
yeah. Yeah. And
I mean, keep working hard. Then you're just waking up early, working hard for the other thing. But it's a process.
No, but I see the hustle, and I love it.
Yeah.
Love it. Let's go right into what John's talking about though with Páme Páme. Okay.
All right.
First question I have about it. What did you feel when it was completed? It was out. People got to see it. What was that feeling like once that day was?
That day was really special. It was also like my birthday weekend. It just kind of worked out because the song had to get pushed back because then like lockdown happened, and so things got kind of delayed. But then it ended up coming out on my birthday, and I was like very excited. It was so cool to see people responding to it and dancing to it the way we just did, and like vibing to it with me, and I'm so proud of it. Also because I shot the music video. Thank God I shot the music video last summer in Greece, and I shot it in my grandma's farmhouse that I grew up in. I grew up between New Jersey and Greece.
Did you do the entire thing yourself?
Yeah, actually.
Oh my, that's awesome. No, to see the video and to see that.
Yeah, I fully produced it, and I invited my friend from Rutgers, and he came out and filmed it. He's an incredible videographer, Anthony King, and my boyfriend who plays the bouzouki, and we write all of this music together. We planned this video because we were like, well, I'm going to Greece anyway. My brother's getting married. Let me do a video that shows where this music comes from and why it's authentic to me. So I wanted to show my home. So we shot it at my yaya's farmhouse. We shot it in the town and in the city where I grew up, roaming the streets with my friends, dancing, all of the above. And then we also threw a big party in the village, and I invited everybody, and there's this amazing, beautiful energy that there was that night of everybody just dancing and having such a great time. So it was especially, wonderful to see the video out, and it had a whole new meaning because we couldn't be close to people at that point, and we still can't with what's going on in the world right now. So we really captured this closeness and everybody together holding hands and dancing and being happy and being in Greece and all of this stuff. So it was just really special that we captured that. And I think watching it, for me, takes me back to that and feeling of love and joy. And I hope it gave that to other people watching it too.
No, I mean, we're getting the feeling from it, as you can tell from me and my boy John here. We are, we're loving that song, and it's it's on our playlist. So it is.
Thank you.
Usually rotating around there once or twice a day. So
sweet.
But I guess going off of that song, I feel like you bring a lot of energy into your music. It seems like just from the vibes that I get off from listening and kind of checking out. Going to what do you do when you what gets that energy in those songs, or is that kind of the focus going in, or does it just kind of naturally come up?
Kind of naturally comes up, and it does depend, but we really go in wanting to create a vibe and say something meaningful. And also for us, it's been an experiment that we've kind of started to really figure out and nail, but incorporating the traditional Greek instruments with pop music, like that is such an experiment that I'm so happy has gone well, but we had no idea if it would work. When we're writing, we're always just kind of experimenting, and my boyfriend Jay will be playing the bouzouki, and like we'll figure out a line and we just start singing, and it's just about the energy that day, because these two songs that I've released are more high energy. I also just love dancing and like getting in the moment, so it's wonderful creating that. Not every song ends up being that. Sometimes they're more soft and delicate. It depends on the mood that day.
Okay, yeah. So kind of so I've been kind of asking this because recently a lot of artists have been telling me, like, some of these songs we've been asking about, that they've done it in like 15 to 20 minutes. How long did it take you to make that song?
To make Páme Páme? It's funny because it actually started out as a completely different song, and we kept the la 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 Páme Páme. We just took that and then we rewrote it. So and we like cut out all the verses. They just didn't work, but we loved that part, and we loved the Páme Páme, because Páme in Greek means let's go. And I felt so proud to be able to be speaking Greek in my songs. And so then we rewrote it, and then from the rewrite, it came together like within a day, basically. But then getting it to the final details of the sounds of everything and getting them mixed right, that was a very meticulous, long process.
Yeah, I can imagine. Yes. Yeah. But no, that's still amazing to know that, like, basically in that one day, you had the base ready to go for what the song was going to be.
Yeah.
That, like, I'm not a music background. I play lacrosse, baseball. I was a total like sports junkie.
Nice.
And my mom was a teacher, so that I guess is where I relate to the special needs teacher and stuff like that. So I had like that relationship with my parents and my sisters, and it just is amazing to hear that from all these artists like yourself that are like, it took me like a day and then a couple extra things, and it's like, wow. Because for me, I could not imagine trying to sit down and truly write everything down with that. But no, it's great.
It's really cool. Music is wild because what's really exciting, and sometimes I get really meta about it, thinking about it, it's like you go in and write and you create something that didn't exist like 7 hours before or something. And it's a really special synergy. As I like to write and collaborate with other people. I have like a core group that I love to keep writing with, and it's like that would only exist if the 4 of you got together, or the 3 of you got together that day.
Very true.
And felt what you felt and experienced what you experienced, and now this piece of art exists. It's really cool.
Yeah.
I don't know. I get it.
No, I get it because like when you say that, I start to think kind of as an artist, like a painter or like somebody that draws, like yeah, they might do it individually, but I've seen some artists that actually collaborate with others and they make this piece, and it's amazing because it's two separate artists coming together and making
Yeah,
this
I
creative
love that.
piece, and
I
it's
love.
amazing. Yeah,
Yeah.
it's just, I guess from a listener standpoint, it's amazing to hear these background stories of how
Yeah.
it's made, and just to kind of see and to really understand some of the hustle that you have, like being a teacher,
Yeah.
like that. It blows me away.
Thank
So
you.
no, you're so welcome. I mean, obviously, you're an amazing artist, and you can tell that you're passionate about your music in your music.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Thank you.
So let's kind of go to the other song.
Okay.
I'm gonna butcher this name. I know I am. It's Ferocia.
No,
I did it. I knew I
but
did it.
A
All right,
for effort. You know, you tried. Okay, so we'll give you an A for effort. But it is Fotia. Fotia.
Fotia.
Fotia. Fotia. Yeah, there you go. Perfect.
All right. I just need some guidance. There you go. Right. So what?
Yeah, you got
that. It's the term. It means fire in Greek, correct?
Yes.
What? So
yes.
how? Give me some of those things. How did that go along? Because those two, Páme Páme and I just built. Oh my god.
Fotia.
Yeah. I obviously you can tell my brain is just jumbled, and
no, you're killing it.
No, like those two songs were amazing. What went into Fotia?
Yeah, so Fotia is another one where I was so proud that I could give it a Greek title and have some Greek lyrics in it. What's really special about Fotia is that I actually wrote it the day after I signed my record deal. I'm signed with Sony Germany.
Okay.
So I went to Berlin to sign. This was like end of February, like before the world shut down. But signed the deal, and then they set up a session for us with this amazing producer, Alexis Troy. And he's so talented. And my boyfriend Jay was with me. Mm-hmm. And Alexis is half Greek. So it just like, as soon as we like got into the room, it was like we were speaking Greek, we were understanding each other. It was like family right away. And Jay came in with the bouzouki. He's an honorary Greek now. He plays bouzouki. The family has fully accepted him. And he's an incredible songwriter. And so the three of us, it really like marked a milestone for me. Because again, it was like, whoa, like a year and some change before I was still in the classroom just dreaming about being there. And now it was like the day after I signed my record deal, I'm working with this incredible producer, my boyfriend who I write and create with, and we're going to write this song. And the song really came from marking that milestone in the way of like taking risks and letting go of control and following your passion. So to me, like Fotia is fire, it's passion, it's going after what you want. The lyrics are like, I'm going to lose control. I'm going to lose control. And my love story with Jay, with my boyfriend, of like, I didn't want to give in the beginning, and then I did. And I just, because I was scared of like letting go and just letting things happen. But it's been the best journey. But then it also is my taking a risk to leave teaching and like go after this crazy career path that I had no idea what was going to happen. And I really have you don't really have control. And that's what it's about. It's about following your passion. And for me, it's like kind of twofold. I feel like it's like split between these two stories.
Oh, and that's amazing to hear, just because I guess I really love like I'm kind of a history buff. I like that finding out like the steps that it took to get where you are now. I mean, I like just seeing like the music, you shooting out the music video as well for Páme Páme and stuff like that is like, it's blowing my mind right now. And it is. I'm being serious. I'm speechless, honestly. But that kind of went into that just shows the amazement and talent that you have as an artist now, and a producer and editor, it looks like. I guess my next question was, what went into like what, or go, no. I'm skipping myself now. Take me back to that day that you signed, that you signed that contract and you were like, your dream essentially came true then. Like, what was that feeling?
Yeah. It was so surreal. It was so surreal. I was like, I can't believe we're here. And we just flew out for the weekend and everybody was so lovely and welcoming. Patrick, who's the CEO at Sony Germany, he's the one that brought me on and signed me. And he heard Páme Páme and was like, we're doing this. And yeah. And I just felt so seen and heard and appreciated for who I was as an artist. And they loved that I was incorporating my culture and my heritage and that I was proud of that. And they like encouraged me to be me. What I felt so great about is that I got signed off of these songs that my boyfriend and I wrote together and put the time in and like incorporated my roots and really created a sound that represents me and like who I am. Like I grew up in the United States and in Greece, and now that's what that sounds like, you know? And I wasn't being asked to not be who I am. It was like everything clicked when I actually went out and figured out who I am on my own.
It wasn't.
So that felt really, really special. No, that's okay. Yeah, it wasn't like superficial. It wasn't like them telling me what to do or that I need to sound like this or I need to do that. Like everything happened because I like followed, took the leap of faith. I went and explored, took risks by trying to incorporate Greek heritage and Greek everything in American pop and everything that I love. But once I let go and did that, that's when things clicked and worked out. So it felt very like beautiful.
It's almost full circle then, like you started to let go and then now it's like, this is it. Now we're here. And
yeah, it was wild. It was wild. And then of course, 2 weeks later, the world shut down. So a lot of the plans that we had for the year and for everything definitely changed and things got pushed back. But I've learned a lot and I'm very grateful that I still have like a strong team around me. And even through these unprecedented times of being an artist, we're at it and we're still being creative and we're moving forward.
Yeah. And I think I guess this is me kind of talking to myself the last 2 days about really what's happened this pandemic. I feel like a lot of people have learned to bet on themselves and to for it, because this was kind of obviously this was an unimaginable time that we're all in with this pandemic.
Yeah.
And we don't exactly know what's happened, how everything's going, like what's going to happen. Will we be back in the new normal or the old normal or whatever we want to call it?
Yeah.
But I feel like I've seen so many people now start to branch out and just be like, I'm going for it.
Mm-hmm.
I've been given the time, let's go do it. And it's just been a year betting on yourself. And it sounds like it's working for the two of us, honestly, here, because I felt like that when I lost my job in the beginning of the year. And here we are now. And it's crazy.
Just have to have faith and just remind yourself that like everybody's on their own unique path and just keep going. And as long as you're doing what you love and those are the problems you're solving and then those are the challenges you have, just like keep going.
Yeah, it's huge.
But I need that reminder. I'm also saying that as like, not to be a wise woman here, but like I need those reminders every day. I have to like remind myself.
No,
we
it's
all
good.
do, but just
good.
Have faith is good.
Yeah. I mean, especially me. I'm a big faith for myself, and I definitely have. I guess I've become more aware of the saying, "Everything happens for a reason," and I guess I focus more on what's happening around me during those everyday situations. That why did this happen? And I guess that's more of a kind of a dissect of what's happening and how you've gotten to where you are.
I do that too. It's like the butterfly effect. I'm like, wow, if that didn't happen that day or I didn't have that conversation, then this thing wouldn't have happened. This thing wouldn't have existed.
It's like
I could get lost for a long time.
And it's almost like you can't. It's almost like you can't do that. Yeah. But no, it's cool to like kind of look back and stuff like that. And you kind of almost went right into my next question with how was the pandemic affecting you? I guess what I'll kind of change it up. how has the pandemic changed how you focus on your brand and your music and connecting with the fans?
So the first week that quarantine happened was my whole week of like official photo shoots and like getting the brand to like the visuals and stuff of how I was going to present myself. So all of that got canceled. But you know, we still needed press photos. We were still going to release stuff. We just literally couldn't do it with professional people. So we got a camera. My boyfriend learned how to use it. God bless him. He's so freaking talented, like producer, writer. Now he literally has amazing skills as a photographer. But he got a camera. I went to CVS and bought like whatever nice makeup products I could find and watched some YouTube videos, learned how to do makeup better. Luckily I had bought all these cute outfits that I was originally going to wear on my travels. And I was like, well, we're going to take these photos ourselves.
Let's go.
So
yeah, let's do it.
Yeah. So we like scouted around the neighborhood and found like a cool wall. And I just started seeing things differently, like catching the light. Oh, like, wow, the light from the window at that specific time would be great for a photo. And so I started seeing the world differently. We started taking our photos. We shot some live sessions and videos in our backyard, and we had our roommate hold a steady camera, and we made something that I'm really proud of that I don't think if you would watch it, you would think it was amateur. And so we really stepped it up and learned that there's a lot that we're capable of doing. And in doing that, I had so much control over my brand and how I wanted to present myself, so that moving forward, as we do bring people in to collaborate with and for photography and for styling and all of the above, we feel so grounded and strong in what we're capable of doing. So we're going to bring in people that can elevate what we've done and in the way that we know we can and what feels true to us. So it's like we got the opportunity to really learn even more about the brand. And then in terms of interacting with fans, like thank God for social media. And I've met all sorts of people that reach out or like tag me in the song that are driving down whatever highway in, you know,
And maybe
the US or in Germany or in Greece. And I'm just like, whoa, this is mind blowing. Like, that's so cool that you're like that far away and you're listening to it. And it is a kind of a weird experience because I'm just at home. You know, I feel like I don't get the opportunity right now to go and like meet people in person, and I thrive off of that, and I can't wait for that day. But I'm really grateful for social media because there's some nice interaction and new people.
Yeah, and it's cool to know that it's cool. It's funny to see the switch, I guess, because now we're all starting to see like, all right, yeah, social media we thought at first was more of something that we could help promote, but it's almost you can do everything from there. Nearly to get everything out that you want. And I think, at least for me, I've learned a lot of different like social media skills through this year just to get myself.
Totally.
And I mean, that helps with my brand, my company, all that stuff. And
it's all been a learning curve, but I think we've all like learned that we're capable of doing a lot more than we thought.
Yeah. It's been a year to bet on ourselves and to show ourselves what we can do. And no, so honestly, you've answered everything I've got. I want to thank you again for coming on. I'll have all your social media up here for the interview. Cool. And if you got like a website or you want thrown on there, just shoot it to your publicist and they'll send it to me.
Okay.
I honestly, I'm gonna ask one last thing before I let you go. Can you please say your name and then you're watching Ground Sounds?
Okay. Yes. So I look into the camera actually.
Yes.
I'm Evangelia and you are watching Ground Sounds.
Boom. We are set, ready to go.
Let's go.
Thank you so much for taking this again, as I say.
Thank you. No, it was nice. I got to meet you as well. So I really
you've met the whole team now. You've met the whole team.
Yeah. Let's go.
All right. Enjoy the rest of your day, and
thank you.
We hope to talk to you soon.
All right. Sounds good. Same here.
All right.
Bye. Take care.